Mother Christophora is the abbess of the Monastery of the Transfiguration in Ellwood City, Pennsylvania. She's been abbess there for over 30 years. I was really glad for the opportunity to interview a monastic abbess, and I'm really grateful to Mother Christophora for her generosity. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode from my interview with Mother Christophora.
Our monastery is located in Ellwood City, Pennsylvania. We're about an hour north of Pittsburgh. And we have a somewhat unique history to our monastery, at least for an American monastery. We were started by a member of a royal family. Her name was Mother Alexandra, known as Mother Alexandra monastic life, but in the world known as Princess Ileana of Romania. She had a very long and fruitful life herself. First as the child of the King and Queen of Romania, King Ferdinand and Queen Marie, and was very inclined towards helping people all of her life. She was a very sensitive person to the needs of those around her. And she would go with her mother, Queen Marie, to visit wounded war soldiers as a little girl. Eventually she was married and had 6 children. She continued doing that kind of helping work as a young adult. She started a hospital for wounded Romanian soldiers in Austria and then also in Romania. But when Romania was taken over by the communists, she was forced to leave her country. And that brought another phase to her life. She was forced out of her country, of Romania, that she loved very much. She had to live in exile, first in Switzerland and then Argentina, and finally was accepted to live in the United States by a special decree of a senator of Massachusetts called John F. Kennedy. By his intervention, she was able to get permanent residence in the United States. She raised her children, put them through school, and then she came to a point in her life that she could fulfill a dream, and that was to become a monastic, an Orthodox nun. So it was recommended to her to go to an Orthodox monastery in France, in Bussy, France. She was not able to go back to Romania. The communists, of course, would not permit that. So she became a nun in that monastery in France. She was there about 7 years, but she knew from living in America for that period of time in the 50s that as rich as America is, it was lacking spiritual depth. And she thought that the Orthodox monastic life would add much to the life of Americans. So she fulfilled the dream of starting an Orthodox monastery in America by starting our monastery here in western Pennsylvania. She did have, of course, the support of the church, the support of the hierarchs. She went to all of the hierarchs in the United States, so our monastery has always had a pan-Orthodox flavor to it. She did not want to start a Romanian monastery by any means, but she wanted our monastery to be an American monastery, one that would open its doors to women of all ethnic backgrounds. From the very beginning, she demanded that services in the monastery here in Ellwood City would always be in English. She was very strong on that point, even though in the 60s, when we were founded in the late 60s, most parishes were still using the ethnic language of their home countries. Interesting aside from that is that the English translations that most of us use in our parishes, the Lenten Triodion, the Festal Manean, the Octoicus, if you look in the front of those books, they were translated in the monastery in Bussy, France. And the reason they were translated was specifically for Mother Alexandra's use. So we have a direct connection with those first translations of services into English. Well, she did begin, with God's blessing, to start the monastery, but it had a slow beginning. It was very difficult for her to try to teach, as she would say, teach something people had never seen. So women came and stayed, and many women came and left, but it was slow going. up and down for those first 10 years. About 10 years into our history, she invited a couple of nuns, very experienced nuns from Romania, to come and help here in Ellwood City. And many people know those nuns because they went on, after they helped us here, they went on to start another monastery. And they were Mother Benedicta, Mother Gabriella, and the third one came later, Mother Apollinaria. So they stayed here about 7 years, and they really put into our life here in Ellwood City much of the foundation, the liturgical music. They were sang very beautifully together, and the monastic traditions, because in particular Mother Benedicta had many, many years of monastic experience in her life before she came here. So they contributed much to our life as we know it and as we continue to live it here. But eventually they felt called to go elsewhere and to start another monastery, and that monastery has flourished very well. It's in Rives Junction, Michigan, Holy Door Mission Monastery. So that left us, when they departed in 1987, then it sort of left us as the Americans. Mother Alexandra was still living, but she was in retirement. Mother Benedicta had served as our second abbess. So when they left, then it was kind of the third phase of our monastery, which we are in now, that the monastery is really an American monastery and is in the hands of American sisters. And we've been growing over the years. More have come to try their vocation. Again, many leave because as Americans, it's not an easy thing, lifestyle to enter into without much preparation, spiritual preparation for this life. But eventually we have gone on to grow. We are now 10 sisters here, and we receive many, many guests from all over the country that come and stay with us. And we continue our life with the liturgical services every day, with offering hospitality, and doing a publication that we have, Life Transfigured, and also doing quite a bit of speaking at retreats and missionary work.
Hi again. I hope you enjoyed this episode from my interview with Mother Christophora. Please subscribe to get notified when new videos become available, which happens every Friday. And also, if you would, please leave a comment in the comment section below, letting me know what you thought of this video. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.